The Maria Perez Show is produced by Haven Creative House.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Maria Perez Show, Season 3. I'm super excited to introduce you guys to our next guest. He is the mayor of the great city of Edinburg, Omar Ochoa. Thank you so much, Mayor, for being here.
This is fun. Thanks for having me.
Yes, of course, and I'm super excited to have you. But before we start off with all the questions, I want to start off with a few rapid-fire questions for you that are fun and on the light side.
All right, let's try.
Let's do it. So, coffee or energy drinks?
Coffee, 100%. I don't think I've ever had an energy drink.
I'm not a fan of energy drinks either, so I'm
I
with you on that.
Jaeger bombs, right? That
Yes.
includes,
Yeah.
back in my college days.
Yeah, but coffee now.
It's all coffee now.
I
yeah.
love it. Courtroom or city hall?
That is a great
Right?
question.
I got you on that one.
I love the law. Absolutely love being a lawyer, but I also love my city. So that's honestly, that is a really hard one
It's a tie.
to choose. Right now,
Yes.
I probably spend more time at City Hall than I do in a courtroom these days.
I agree.
But it's hard to choose.
Yes, we'll put that one as a tie.
Okay.
Early bird or night owl?
Oh man, I like to consider myself an all-day person, to tell you the truth. Yeah,
Perfect.
especially kind of growing up, I was always the type of person that would burn on both ends of the candle.
Love it. One word to describe the city of Edinburg.
All America City. That's more than one word,
Love
but
it.
it's hard to
It's hard, yeah.
hard to put it in one. Yeah, 4-time All America City for a reason.
I love that. Who's more competitive, you or your wife, Leah?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Leah.
She is really competitive. That's
Yes.
true, but I am also incredibly competitive.
Yes.
I think the two of us. It's like iron sharpening iron. It's really great.
And last question. If you weren't a lawyer or mayor, what would you be?
I would be a writer, to tell you the truth.
Nice.
Yeah, actually, Leah and I did this fun question for each other when we first started dating, right? And I would be a writer. I love writing, reading, trying to communicate something clearly. Very enjoyable.
Were you ever interested in journalism by any chance?
Well, no, actually, not so much.
Yeah.
More like fiction writing, those kinds of things. I really enjoyed writing stories even when I was a kid.
Love that. So let's start off by talking about, obviously, your upbringing, your personal life. You are the mayor of the great city of
It's
Edinburg,
true.
and you're continuing with your father's legacy as well. Your father is former mayor of Edinburg. So
That's
how
right.
does that feel for you?
It is amazing. Now, I'll start by saying this was completely unplanned. Never in a million years did I think I would do this job. And I've told this story before, right? But it was a total accident, right, getting here. But now that I'm here, it is such an incredible feeling. And of course, my dad is the best mentor, counselor, person that I can tap into with so much knowledge about how to do the job and about the city of Edinburgh.
And I know both your parents have their own careers, had their own careers. So what
They
values?
still do. They haven't retired.
I love that. You see, that
It's
sounds like my
true.
mom and dad. They do not
Yeah.
want to retire. My dad's in his 70s right now.
makes
He's like, no, work gives me life.
Right? Yeah.
So, well, how does that how did that help you eventually when going into law and now being the mayor?
That is a great question. So my parents, both of them, literally are my heroes. I mean, they grew up, born and raised here in the Valley. My mom in Donna, my dad in Edinburg, and they both grew up as migrant field workers. And so they were the first ones in their families to go to college, get college degrees. They both became professionals. My dad's a pharmacist. My mom's an accountant. They own businesses together. My dad obviously was mayor of Edinburgh for 13 years. Like the things that these people did, I can't even fathom.
Wow.
And so growing up as a kid, they were always my shining example. And I just knew, right, that God had blessed me, putting me in that family with that background. And I never wanted to waste it. It was always a big personal motivator.
I really like what you mentioned, how your parents were migrant workers. My parents were also migrant workers, but that's a very nice message to have our audience to hear that, because sometimes people find it impossible to,
It's true.
you come from a humble beginnings, and then they maybe think it's going to be hard to become this or become that. So what message can you give our people?
Anybody can do it, honestly. It's hard. I am not gonna lie, right? In any kind of field and any kind of background that you come from, it is hard to get to the top, right? But if you've got it, if you've got the ganas to go in there, you can do it. Now, I highly recommend that you find mentors, right, who can kind of steer you along the way, answer those questions that might come up. Very, very important. But, no matter where you come from, no matter your background, you can do it.
You are an Edinburg native,
I
and it's
am.
so cool and amazing how now you're the mayor of
Uh-huh.
Edinburg. Do you have any good memories growing up in Edinburgh? Talk to us a little bit about your
Yeah.
upbringing.
So many, yeah. Born and raised in Edinburgh, Freddie Gonzalez Elementary School, which is an amazing place named after a Medal of Honor winner, very inspiring story. Memorial Junior High, and then Edinburgh North High School. And yeah, there's just so many great memories. A lot of my family lives in Edinburgh,
Mhm.
and obviously my dad, was elected official for almost my entire child life.
Mhm.
He was on the school board first, and then mayor after that. And just going around with him to different city events and functions and getting to know all the different corners and families of the city of Edinburgh. It is a wonderful place filled of great families who have sacrificed and worked hard to make us
Mhm.
what we are today.
And I was gone from the Valley for 4 years. And now that I come back, I do see how Edinburgh has grown
Hmm.
tremendously. Now that you are mayor, by the way, congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah.
And we are so happy to have you as our mayor. What is your vision for the city? What can we expect maybe 3 to 4 years down the road?
Great question. So
Yes.
we're ready to take Edinburgh to the next level. I mean, you're right. Edinburgh has grown so
Yes.
much. We are blessed to be the fastest growing city in the
Mhm.
RGV, one of the fastest growing in the state. There are so many amazing resources there, from the university, which is one of the best in the state, to the county seat, to three major healthcare systems, a sports arena, the largest south of San Antonio. There's so much potential there, that I really want to see Edinburgh elevate to the next level. We are the city of the future, and that's where we're headed.
And I know that also one of the biggest attractions or just entertainment places that Edinburgh has is also the stadium,
That's right.
The Janet and Backer Stadium, the Backer
Uh-huh.
Stadium,
Yeah.
Robert and Janet Backer
That's
Stadium.
right.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I was
Sorry,
gonna I was gonna back you up, Robert, if you forgot. Don't worry.
Robert and Janet Backer Stadium.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Everybody
Yeah.
wants to go, and that's also part of the city of Edinburgh.
It is,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, no, and that's actually a really interesting. There's a whole kind of history to that. It started out as Orange Grove, that whole
Yes.
area. It became actually a water park. It was called Super
Wow.
Splash. It was Super Splash for many years.
Hmm.
Then, obviously, the Toros came in and
Yeah.
built a soccer stadium, and now it is the home of Vaquero Football Division One. And I don't know if you had a chance to get out there, but it was just amazing to see
Yeah.
people from all over the valley. It's not just Edinburgh participating in
Right.
these things. People are coming in from all over, enjoying the tailgating, enjoying the atmosphere, and the Vaqueros, right, are undefeated at home.
I love
So it is
that.
a wonderful place to go out and check out a football game.
I love it because they're also putting the Rio Grande Valley and the city of Edinburgh
Mhm.
on the map. So how amazing to have this and to offer these kind of venues to our community as well. You also served as Edinburgh's city attorney. So talk to us about that experience.
Yeah, that was, I guess, a precursor, right, to
Mhm.
all of this. I ended up being city attorney for 6 years. When I originally came into the position, I thought it was going to be a short period of time, right, to kind of help out things. But the 6 months that I have kind of in mind turned into 6 years. But it was such a great thing to do. I mean, you're literally working with everybody in the city on all city projects, all of the inner workings. You attend all the city council meetings. It's just great. I really enjoyed being able to have that impact,
Mhm.
as the attorney for so long.
And do you feel like you know, your career in law has also prepared you to now be the mayor of a great city?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, my time as city attorney has made it so that we're really hitting the ground running, right?
Right.
It's like I know all the people, I know all the projects, I know all the things that are going on in the city. And it's just a matter now of picking up the baton and running with it. There is no learning curve. And so I'm very blessed to be in this position.
As a child, I'm curious to know, did you always have in the back of your head, if my dad was mayor, I'm going to be mayor? Because I know you went into law.
Yeah.
And did that ever come across your mind? I'm going to
Absolutely.
serve as mayor one day.
Absolutely not.
You said absolutely not.
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, it was never kind of my thing that I was going to
Yeah.
be mayor of Edinburgh, right? I
Yeah.
mean, because I saw my dad go through it, and
Right.
to my opinion, he's the best mayor a city has ever had, right? Bar none, and I can tell you all kinds of reasons and stories as to why. But it
Mhm.
was just never really my thing that I thought that I was going to do that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm really interested in politics. I always have been. Watching my dad have such a big impact on the community did a lot for me. But I thought I was going to have a different path, and this, like I said, really was more of a calling.
Right.
And it was one that I resisted initially, if I'm being perfectly honest. But after prayer, after talking with my family, Leah, my dad, it was just so clear to me that God put me on this path. Not because I thought I was preordained or whatever to win,
Right.
but that He was telling me, you need to go on this journey. So,
Right.
really, all I've done is be a faithful servant, and that's what I continue to do in this position.
Were there ever like any obstacles that you faced, not only during your career but also during this transition of also, running for candidate
Mhm.
as as the mayor of the city of Edinburgh? Any obstacles that you went through or doubts, perhaps?
Well, never a doubt that I was doing the right thing.
Right.
Never.
Right.
Now, obstacles. I mean, sure, there's plenty, right? I
Hmm.
mean, you are running in competition with other people who
Right.
are saying things and doing things, and but for me, honestly, my attitude the whole time was, I have a goal, I have a message, I know what I would like to do as mayor of the city of Edinburgh, and that's what I'm going to talk about.
Right.
And bringing that level of optimism and positivity and future oriented thinking, and not getting stuck in the mud,
Yes.
I think really resonated with people.
Hmm.
And so that was very important to me, right? Was to stay optimistic and positive, and talk about the future of the city of Edinburgh, and
Right.
really not really worry about much else.
Is there any advice that your dad gives you? Is there something maybe different that you want to do
Uh-huh.
now?
No, I mean, like I said, Dad's always really great to
Yeah.
kind of touch base with.
Right.
There is not a single problem that I can come
Yes.
across that he didn't deal with in some form or fashion, because he was
Right.
mayor for so long.
Yes.
And so it is great to have him as a resource.
Walk us through your decision when running for mayor.
Yeah.
Walk us a little bit more into detail
Sure.
on your decision to run for mayor.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
because we
So,
know that you're also very busy
uh-huh.
as a lawyer.
It's true, yeah. And
Yes.
so, I have my own law firm,
Right.
and I was also the city attorney at the same time that I was growing my law firm, right? So
Wow.
wearing kind of
Yeah.
two hats daily. I took a step back, right? I stepped down from city attorney, September, October, the 2020. I'm losing my dates now. 2024, I suppose, right?
Yes.
2025 was the election, and I thought I was going to go back to just being, a law firm owner, a husband,
Yeah.
right? All kinds of things Leah and I had planned
Yeah.
on. But then the then current mayor, Ramiro Garza, got diagnosed.
Hmm.
And he decided, and it was the right decision for him, not to run for reelection. So as soon as that happened, the position is now open. People start calling me, asking me if it's something that I would consider doing.
Hmm.
And of course, my initial reaction to that was, no,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
not, I just left the city, right? This is
Yes.
not something that I'm
Yeah.
looking to do. But some of the best things that happen to you are things that you never imagined.
Right.
And God has a greater plan for you than you could ever have for yourself. I
Hmm.
100%
Amen. Hmm.
believe that. And so Leah was the first person I talked to, and when she was supportive, right, then I knew, okay, there's something to this. And then the next person I had to talk to after that, obviously, was my dad.
Yes.
And he gave really solid advice, which is, the only he told me from the very beginning, you would be a great mayor.
Wow.
And to come from him, that meant a lot, because I
Yes.
know he wasn't saying it just because I'm his son. He loves his city, right? And
Yes.
so he's not gonna tell me to do something that is gonna hurt the city that he spent so much time working on. So to hear those things, I just knew I had to take the opportunity seriously. I didn't take very long. I took a couple of days really to kind of pray on it, think
Right.
about it. And once I made the decision, we announced, we were in.
I love that. What is your vision for the city of Edinburgh?
Mhm.
You have emphasized economic growth,
Yep.
water infrastructure,
Yep.
and partnerships. So,
Yes.
what's one goal that you want people to remember your administration for?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot, honestly,
Hmm.
to tell you the truth. Like I said, Edinburgh's blessed to be a fast-growing city, but with
Hmm.
that comes the responsibility of continuing to invest in
Yes.
our infrastructure, roads, sewer, water, right? All of
Hmm.
these things the city really needs to keep up with. But in addition to that, workforce training as well, right? If we're going to be a city of the future, we need the resources to be able to do that. So, for me, there are a lot of challenges, not just that our city is facing, but that others in the area also. Finding alternate sources of water is going to be very important. We're not to the level yet where it's a dire need. We're actually doing okay. We are in a drought, right? But it's
Hmm.
not like we're going to run out of water next year.
Yes.
But this is a problem of the future that we need to solve today
Hmm.
before it becomes a pinch. There's a lot of roads that we need to expand. We've got all of this area on the north side of Edinburgh that we can grow into. So what we really need are master plans, deciding deliberately today, who do we want to be in the future, and then working towards that.
Also, We know that you are a UT grad.
Oh yeah, very much so. Oh my
Yes,
God,
it's very
I'm
hard to get into UT
yeah, I'm a
Austin.
triple Longhorns. I have an
I love
undergrad, a
that.
master's, and a law degree. My dad went
Wow.
there, my brother went there, my sister went there. So we're a whole family of
That
Longhorns.
that
Yeah.
is crazy. Your wife
And
also
Leah
went
also
to
went there. Yeah.
so from the Valley to UT Austin, I know
Uh-huh.
how difficult it is to get there because when I was going to college,
Yeah.
obviously not everyone gets admitted to UT Austin.
Uh-huh.
So how was that experience? And I'm
Yeah.
also a Longhorns fan since a child.
Awesome.
So
Good. All
hook 'em
right.
horns.
Hook 'em. That's right. Well, I'm a nerd. I'll
Yes.
admit it, right? I've been a nerd my entire life,
Yes.
right? That's just kind of how I am, part of my
Yes.
personality. And I had the good fortune of being able to go to UT Austin on a full scholarship. And it was a wonderful experience.
Yes.
But I worked really hard for it.
Hmm.
And then when I got there, I was just so scared of not making it, of being one of those kids that
Hmm.
left the valley and just for whatever reason, couldn't keep it together and had to come home. I did not want that to be my story. So when I got to UT, I literally took all of the free academic learning classes that I could. How to read a chapter, how to take notes in class, how to study for an exam on a college level. I think I overdid it to make sure that I would be successful at UT, and so I'm really glad that I
Yes.
put all that effort into it because it was a great time, but I was also very proud of my academic performance.
Yeah, that's amazing. And how amazing too that you share that in common
Yeah,
with your beautiful wife,
it's true. Yeah.
Leah. Let's talk a little bit about Leah as
Please,
well.
I can do this all day. How
You-
much time do we have?
I know I know, right? We were talking about her
Yeah.
off camera, but how was it meeting Leah? I know you guys are both successful lawyers and representing the Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny story
Yeah.
actually. So the very first time we met was actually many years ago. She was working at the state capitol, and she was an intern in a program that I was actually an alum of. And so there was like a fundraiser dinner, and I got to meet her there for the first time. But neither one of us really remembers it all that well. So
Yeah.
that wasn't like the moment.
Yes.
It wasn't until I ended up coming back home to practice law. I'd been a lawyer in Houston for several years,
Hmm.
and I was looking around and trying to find, lawyers who were local who I could partner with maybe and help them do cases, all these kinds of things. And I could tell very early on that Leah was brilliant, right? It was
Yeah.
just very clear she had this very brilliant marketing strategy, and so I knew from the very beginning that I wanted to work with her. And that's really kind of how it got started. We developed a friendship
Hmm.
from there that lasted for several years, really, before we even ever uh, started dating.
How do you both manage your busy lives and still
Mhm.
find time for your personal life?
You just have to make it a priority, honestly,
Mhm.
right? And for me, that's not hard
Yes.
necessarily, right? Because Leah literally is the most important thing in my life,
Yes.
literally, and I know that, to my core.
Yes.
And so, I can be in a city council meeting, I can be in court, I can be working on stuff, but she's always back there. She's always in the back of my
Yes.
mind, and I just
Oh.
know that I'm gonna be that much happier when I get home.
Yes.
And so I think that is important, right? To have that genuine sense of relief to be with that other person because that will
Yes.
always drive you to spend
That's a very, very important message. And she
time.
also mentioned how, when you were running for mayor, she said, I was a little, not scared, but
Uh-huh.
oh man, I shouldn't post this on social media. But she says, my husband always told me, don't change who you are because
Yes.
I'm running for mayor. And I thought that was something very nice
A
for her to say.
100%. I
Yes.
mean, because it's true, right?
Yes.
I mean, my relationship with Leah is going to
Hmm.
outlast any campaign, any amount of time in office, right? And that is more important to me than anything else. And so, if something were to change about her because of that, I would
Yes.
miss it.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that, right? I wanted
Yeah.
her to feel free to be the person that she is because it's such a beautiful thing.
Going back to now the city of Edinburg, talking about the future of the city, what's the biggest change that you've seen in the city of Edinburgh since you grew up there to now? So
Oh my
we know it's a
God.
lot, but what's the
Yeah.
biggest impactful in positive change? All
Yeah.
changes are positive.
Right. Yeah. It is that is a big question. So I mean, I'll
Yes.
just tell you when my dad first became mayor in 1993, the city population was around 30,000 people.
Yes.
Today, it's estimated at 112. And
Wow.
so that just shows you, right,
Yes.
how much growth there has been in Edinburgh. And along with that, you see all kinds of wonderful things. I am so proud of what UTRGV has become.
Yes.
As Pan Am, it was amazing, but when it had the merger with UT Brownsville, now we have one system that has a
Mhm.
lot more access to funding.
Right.
The team that Dr. Bailey has there and has put in place, they are one of the most, if not the most, important economic drivers in the city of Edinburg and also in the Rio Grande Valley. So to see what that campus has done, from advanced research facilities to a medical school, I mean, it's just think about it. That the fact that we have a medical school
Yes.
right
That's a big
here
deal.
is a huge deal, and
Yes.
it's opening so many doors for so many things. I don't think people really even contemplate how big that is. But I think the growth of UTRG has been one of the biggest, like I said, drivers for the city of Edinburgh.
Because when I was at UTRGV, it was UTPA.
That's right. Yeah, that's
So
right.
I
Go
was
Bronx, right?
yes, go Bronx, and I was there during the whole transition
Uh-huh.
of when we transitioned
Really?
to UTRGV Vaqueros,
Wow.
and so I've seen
Mhm.
and I've personally witnessed the positive growth and impact that it has had in our community, and also a lot of my friends. I'm a Mission native, but a lot of my friends are like, I want to move to Edinburg. So
Yeah.
what is it that Edinburg has that
Yeah.
you as our mayor that you
I
think
love
people want to move there?
I love this, and it's so true, right?
Yeah.
So Edinburgh is a college town, and I
Yes.
really want to lean into that. I want to create a creative class, right?
Yes.
This elevated way of living, where people are enjoying arts, culture,
Hmm.
restaurants, coffee shops, where families can go and know that they've got tons of educational opportunities and tons of work opportunities,
Yes.
right? So the city of Edinburgh is very dedicated to the community. We're the city of festivals. We have festivals throughout the year for all kinds of things. It is such a community-oriented place. I think people who go can really feel it.
And you are right when you mention community because I feel like, especially people from my generation,
Mhm.
young couples getting married, they want to raise a family, they want to
Yeah.
go to Edinburgh, they want to go to all these community events.
Yeah.
They feel safe living in the city of
That's
Edinburgh
right.
as well. And I also feel like that's one of the reasons people want to now buy a home there. I want to move to
That's
Edinburgh.
right.
And I'm
Yeah.
also investing, by the way,
All
I'm
right.
investing in real estate in
Good
Edinburgh.
for you. Edinburgh is awesome. I'm telling you. So we have actually over 100 subdivisions in the pipeline right now,
Wow.
right? In some
Yes.
phase or another, right? But I'm not just talking about homes. I'm talking about over 100 subdivisions being,
Wow.
built somewhere in the development
Fast growing.
pipeline right now. Exactly.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, I'm investing in real estate. It's my first investment in real estate, so I'm a little
Yeah.
nervous, but I'm at the same time excited because I know that it's a fast-growing city and
It is.
it's very close to the university as well.
That's right.
So I'm very happy and very
Good for
excited for
you.
that. Thank
All
you.
right, I'm excited for you.
And just to close off this interview, Mayor, if any young children are watching us,
Mhm.
not only from Edinburgh, but from the Rio Grande Valley,
Yeah.
and they have aspirations of becoming a mayor or just becoming a lawyer as well, what advice can you give them?
Dream big, kids, because honestly, the Valley is not a small town, right? We are not a small place. We have the potential to sit at the big table, but we need you, right? The youth,
Yes.
to demand it. This is such a wonderful place to be. That any dream that you have could come true. But what I really, really hope is that a lot of you out there, you're so smart. Even if you do end up leaving to go to college, to UT or wherever else,
Yes.
I hope that you will find a way to make it back home. Because we need more of these smart kids to come back home, to stay here, to make this place into a better place for everybody else. We need that brain gain and
Yes.
avoid the brain drain.
And we always come back to the Valley. I said I was gone for 4 years,
Yeah.
and I came back to my roots, came back
Yeah.
to the Valley.
That's great. I mean, I was gone for
Yes.
15, right? I
Yeah.
graduated high school, went to college, did all kinds of things. I was a lawyer in Houston,
Mhm.
but I always knew that I would come back home at some point in my career.
Yes.
And honestly, I'm so glad that I did. And once I did come back, a couple years into it, I said to myself, wow, I should have done this sooner.
Yeah. Just to close off, what kind of city is Edinburgh building for the next generation?
Yes, we are, like I said, the city of the future, right?
Yes.
The kind of place where we plan ahead, where we know where we are going, and we take that future responsibility very seriously.
Mayor, thank you so much. I enjoyed
Thank
getting to know
you.
your
Yeah.
journey, your family's story,
Yeah.
and just your vision for the city of Edinburgh. And we look forward to that, and we're very excited. So thank you for your time.
Thank you for the opportunity. It was a lot of fun.
We'll see you next time.